many graves, and the timing I'm getting is around 4,000 years ago. There's engravings on their faces. These people had engravings on their faces, and there's huge columns. They worship the sun and the stars. They worked with a lot of the universal energy, and they worked with a lot of fire elements here. There's a connection they have had here with northern New South Wales. There's another settlement in northern New South Wales, they're telling me, and there's hieroglyphics on rocks in New South Wales, probably a bit north of Sydney I'm picking up here. But there were hieroglyphics on this, but a lot of this has been taken. All right. They did have a priest. He wore a white uniform and he had a pendant on him here, and he wore a hat, like hat with feathers. They had spears. They were warlike, but they were peaceful. The ships remind me, or they look like the ships like the Viking. You know, very long. And serpent energy. I guess I'm with the serpent energy here that they have, but there's sails with them as well. They were voyagers. They also told me, I'm picking up here, they landed in Canada. These people went to Canada.
Coming from Phoenicia?
Yeah. And the DNA, I'm seeing this now, took them down from Canada to the South Americas through Mexico. The DNA is there. Now these people, even though they're dark, they had reddish hair, and I'm seeing green eyes, and that energy took them through to New Zealand. Okay, this is going back 3,500 to 4,000 years ago. That's what I'm saying. There's a DNA tracing it back here, and the people who came to this area also made some in New Zealand, and they came here as well. There's 3 or 4 ships. I can see them.
So this particular place, Gympie, were they shaping the hills?
Yes, they were shaping the hills. They actually made the structure in the hills. They made the stones. They had very heavy stones, but they had a form of lifting them. I'm getting something to do with a sponge or a gel they made. There's something here that they moved them on, a sponge or a gel, and they lifted them quite easily into place. And they had a lot of markings on them. But they were very strong stones craftsmen. They had a primitive lift, they showed me that. And they had a place of worship. Now there's a slab, a number of slabs they're showing me here. And there's something in these slabs with points in them, like rounded stones. They might have put spears or shafts in these things here, and they did a place of worship. A lot of fire around them. Very, very advanced with the universe.
Have they erected those blocks?
Yes.
They were standing upright?
Yes. But there's columns, and they seem like pinnacles, like this.
So what was the purpose of having them, standing upright?
It represented the star system or the stars. There's something here to do with the stars or the star system, and they worshipped in this like a quadrant. And they worshipped the land. They also grew food here, grapes and turnips. I'm not too sure what I'm getting here. Avocado, things like this that they grew.
Those blocks, were they shaping certain forms like circles?
Those circles and slabs, very fine slabs. They knew what they were doing, as if they laid claim to the land here.
What was the purpose of slabs?
I'm getting one thing is to do with sacrifice, right? But a sacrificial
sacrifice of animals.
Animals. Many people died because they had some sort of I don't know, there's some virus or bacteria that got into them from the land, or it could have been an insect or something that bit them. But they weren't used to it, their immune system was not used to it. They actually performed their own healing or surgery on people here. A lot to do with large, looks like light stones. I'm getting light in the stone, so this could be a crystal or light stones that they used here.
Why this location?
They chose because of its position in the stars. There's something that the stars brought them to this place. They felt it was a good place energetically.
Was this the most important site for them, the largest?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. When you ask me that, I'm getting no. I'm feeling there was another site around Sydney that was, they said they went there first, or they came there and went there. It's hard to tell, but there's encryptions there It's like it's. I'm trying to say Egyptian, but I can't. So there's encryptions in the stone that are aged old.
What was the purpose of encryption? Is it just to describe
Their settlement?
or it had energy properties?
Yes, it had energy properties. This place has got beautiful energy on it. They were drawn to the energy, and the star system, or those guiding them from the stars, if I can say that to you, guided them here. And they navigated the world through that. So there's a strong connection they have with southern Russia.
Can you be more precise? Around Black Sea, maybe?
Where's Ukraine?
Black Sea. Okay, why? Are there any structures over there similar in shape?
When you say that, yes, there's structure in the Black Sea, underneath the sea. And they're telling me before the flood. But there's telling me something to do with Lemuria.
They were pyramidal in shape? Pyramids?
There's round ones too, they're telling me.
Round, circular. Any other connection with other parts of the world?
Western Australia.
Like Perth or?
No, Northwest Australia, I'm getting around Broome, something called Broome. Town called Broome. There's structure out there.
Did they have anything to do with the Aborigines, with the original people of the land?
Yes, they did. They connected to them very, very well. They loved the land, and they connected spiritually to the land and their healing, because what I'm feeling from this rock, the Aboriginal worked with the Milky Way. They worked with the spirit energy, the rainbow spirit, the serpent energy, which they saw as healing.
How did they work with it?
They worked with it from their own magic they worked magic with this, of healing. And they knew about natural foods that healed.
What was spirituality for Aborigines?
The spirituality is their spirit in nature. Their spirit, it's almost as if the Aboriginal can see his ancestors, see the faces of his ancestors in the rocks. He knows who they are, where they are.
They were able to travel through space with their spirits?
Yes. I'm actually getting some form of interdimensional consciousness, or some hole, or a tunnel. It's interdimensional, and they got a lot of connection here to the Pleiades.
And the Phoenicians, did they have the same capability? No, пусти.
I'm good. They dealt with beautiful, light, strong energy. They dealt with the ancestors who brought us here. They were travelers in time. The ship represented the craft that brought us here.
Who brought us here?
There was more than one. They came from more than one place.
You mentioned Pleiades.
Pleiades. Zeta Reticuli is strong. And there's something here was serious.
Let's start with the Pleiades. Can you describe them?
Peaceful.
Physically?
Tall.
Humanoids?
Yes.
Beautiful?
Porcelain.
And Zeta?
Small.
How small?
Humanoid, but small.
How small?
When you asked me that, 4 foot, 4 foot 11, 5 foot 2.
Who else? The third one?
What I'm saying is I'm getting tall white people, tall white ones. Something called tall white ones. Nordic.
Aryans.
Huh?
Aryans.
No, they don't like the word alien.
Aryans.
Aryans, yes, not alien. They don't like alien.
Aryans.
They're a brotherhood.
Aryans.
There's a galactic council here, and there's insects on this council. And there's something to do with either the praying mantis.
How about Orion? Orion Belt.
The Orion Belt is part of them, but it's not their main one. They said that belonged to others.
Have Egyptian pyramids anything to do with the Orion Belt?
Yes.
What? Builders?
Excuse me. You're going too quick for me. They're designed the same as the Orion belt in the as above, so below. What Tepi, something like this, as above, so below. They're designed as the Orion's belt is designed.
Bosnian pyramids.
Same, different, but older, much older.
By
22,000 years.
by who?
3 civilizations. Each one did their part, then they left. Then another one came down after. There's 3 levels of civilization in the pyramids.
The purpose?
To help humanity through this and to teach humanity about love and harmony. These are white beings. They gave us the tools and left the tools for us to discover them when we are ready. Spiritually ready.
So have they been in use?
Excuse me?
Have they been in use, the Bosnian pyramids?
Yes, I have.
Have they been in use, the pyramids?
Yes, I have.
From
They're
the beginning?
actually the Greeks or the Romans were there at one point. They said here there are some extinct animals that were around that may look like reptiles at one point. I'm getting Triceratops.
What's their purpose today?
The purpose today is to wait for people like you and to build them up and expose them to the energies of the universe and the universes of what they planted around the earth to come together. Like the healing that you're saying, the clean energy, because this is the part of it, and there's a return of these people from the space to come to us when we're ready. So everything is ready. All this has been fine-tuned as part of our program of humanity. It's now. It's now. There's some connection here with Japan.
And underwater or on the ground?
Okinawa. There's something off Okinawa you need to look at, they're telling me. It's big steps. Is that true?
Yes.
And Cuba. But they said a lot of it came from Russia, or what is known as Russia.
So the action.
There's very strong, if you don't mind,
I don't mind.
the constellation of Taurus.
Why Taurus? Connection with Sumerians?
Avatar, Buddha. Buddha. The Buddha.
He was Avatar.
There were 16 avatars. There is pyramid, they tell me, in Canada and North America. One in Alaska. Near the end of Alaska, was it Bering Straits. There's a military constellation around it.
What was the purpose of that pyramid?
Something to do with the magnetic north, or was the magnetic north. It aligned with the magnetic north at the time it was built, to align the I don't know, ley lines or something. He was anchoring ley lines north and south, east and west. All the pyramids were interconnected within 100 miles of one another, along a longitude.
Forming a network?
Yes.
Collecting the energy, maybe?
Collecting the energy, healing energy, and connecting us to other dimensions. Because we connected to them very strongly. And they're telling me all tribes did it. They had their own avatar, because the avatars were meant to connect to every tribe in every nation in every country, and our DNA was changed many times. And they're telling me, if you don't, what I'm getting here, that the Aboriginal was a selective DNA species. The people in Europe were selected, the people in Africa are selected, they're different. People in Asia selected, different. Because our DNA was part of this. And we're coming together.
Did this DNA come to our planet? Was it brought and then through genetical engineering?
The DNA genome is not on this planet. We do not belong. We did not evolve. We were created.
And the creation we can locate at
The time of creation?
And the place?
There are different parts of creation, because as they tell me, as I said to you, there are different peoples on the world, and we're created at different times. Our DNA is slightly different, so it came from different areas, even though we're the same.
You mentioned 16 avatars.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Who were they?
Krishna.
Krishna.
The Christ.
The Christ.
Zoroaster. Mithras. I'm going to name Mithras. I cannot see the others, but they tell me there's 16.
Sumerians, when did they start their civilization?
The Sumerian civilization started around 5000 BC, but the Sumerians did not start then. They started about 450,000 BC. They weren't Sumerian.
So who were they?
Anu, Anan, I'm getting a Ka, Anunnaki. Anunnaki.
Okay. Who built Giza pyramids?
Not us, not human. It wasn't the Egyptians. It was the civilization they knew that was connected to them, that came from their area before the flood. They're telling me that the Giza is a plateau, was man-made plateau. They had to do that to protect them from the flood that was to come. And they're saying there's something here called nomos under the water of part of the first creation, that they said they were aquatic, and they're under the tunnels of the Sphinx were water. And the whole thing is a labyrinth, and they're saying this is what you're going to find. There's a new spirit in there. And there's a crystal here that they're telling me you hold it and the pages turn. And there's 12 levels under the pyramids.
Which one? In Giza?
Giza.
Is there a connection to Atlantis?
Yes.
To Atlantis?
Yes.
What is the connection?
The people who survived Atlantis came to these other places.
How about the Dogon tribe in
When
Africa?
you say Dogon, I'm getting nomos. Dogon, Dogstar, Sirius. Apparently they have a chanting, a dance they have that they have for a long time, that talks about Sirius A and Sirius B, the elliptical paths. Yes?
So are you saying...
They knew about it. And they knew about our genesis.
So we were visited?
Yes, we were. And there's many pyramids in Africa that we haven't explored yet.
South Africa, there are many thousands of stone circles.
Pyramids. 200,000 years old, at least. And I'm getting that there was, under one of these pyramids is a mastodon from the Ice Age. Who is Peter?
Who is Peter? From where?
I don't know. They're telling me to ask you, who is Peter?
It's your show time. I don't know.
Well, they're telling me about a Peter with you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Why we are here today?
There's a coalescence of our energy. We met you for a very important reason, because our future is tied in with you, all of us. There's a coalescence. You're becoming on stage, and you're going to be known as the master. And it's like lieutenants helping you along the way here, and you're going into more Europe. You're building up this spiritual empire, and it's coalescing. This will take you 12 years. There will be another war, they're telling me. Limited. But they want you to walk strongly with your legs and understand that you are wrapped in white and love. You're very divine. And I've been sent to tell you this. You're the ambassador. I cannot do any more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.